So today I'm going to talk about my reading plans, as well as a couple phobias. Hey everyone, here's everything I plan on reading in July. I have 5 books on the schedule, and then I'll talk about my next audiobook, my next short fiction collection, and a wild card pick at the end, and that's where some of my phobias come into this video. Let's get started with The Civil War, Volume 2, From Fredericksburg to Meridian by Shelby Foote. So I received this great box set from a viewer a couple years ago, and I jumped in and read the first volume right away, and I haven't gotten back to it, and I'm really excited to jump back into this. Shelby Foote is an historian that, like many people, I discovered when I watched Ken Burns' great documentary on the American Civil War called The Civil War. Well, if you've seen that documentary, there's a gray-haired guy that tells the greatest stories, and he has this deep southern drawl, and he has a really slow delivery, and he just had the coolest stories and anecdotes from the Civil War. And he always said that Ken Burns made him a millionaire because, like many, his books have lived on past that documentary. And I really enjoyed the first volume. It's a little less dry than a lot of books of this type, and that's what I liked about it, because it is, as it says, Civil War, a narrative. And it does have that feel. There are moments where it is drier than others, but for the most part, it is a lot more richer kind of storytelling. So this is a chunky book. This is the middle third of the war for the 3 volumes that he wrote. Each volume is about 900 to 1100 pages, and this is actually the shortest one. So anyway, this is going to be the first thing that I'll be reading. I'll actually be reading this one on my Kindle as I'm traveling through Europe the first week of July. I think it's a great thing to be reading as I'm traveling, because some days I'll have a lot of time to read, a long bus drive or something like that. Some days I won't have a lot of time to read. So this is a thing I can jump in and out of pretty easily. But I am looking forward to continuing Shelby Foote's Civil War, a narrative, in July. The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell is a work of science fiction, and more specifically, it's a work of first contact. And I love first contact stories. I love just seeing what the author comes up with as far as what the alien is like, what the contact is going to be like, what the interaction is going to be like, how the communication happens, all of those kinds of things. So this book got onto my radar a couple years ago. I did a video called something like Underrated and Underappreciated SFF, and it was a collaboration video I had on the channel, and I invited a lot of other YouTubers to just contribute a book, and this was the contribution of John over at Talking Story. And if you know John, John's enthusiasm for books is infectious, and after he sent me his clip, I ordered it right away. It's taken me 2 years to read it, but I'm excited to finally read it this month. I'm doubly excited because this is the selection of the Fireside Book Club selection for the third quarter of the year. The heads of state in the Fireside Discord, we nominate a book anonymously, and then the Discord votes on it, and this was the winning book, and I'm excited because I picked the winning book. Second quarter in the row. I'm kind of breaking up Joanna's streak of always winning. But anyway, I'm looking forward to reading The Sparrow in the second quarter of the year. We'll be reading this in July, third quarter of the year, reading this in July, and then we'll do a live stream discussion sometime in August on one of our channels. So if you want to jump in, you got time definitely to pick this up and read it in July and then come hang out for the discussion. But looking forward to this first contact story by Mary Doria Russell. Speaking of John from Talking Story, our buddy read continues with Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the second book in the Between Earth and Sky trilogy. We read the first book, The Black Sun, in June. We haven't had a discussion yet, mainly because I'm traveling a lot, so trying to fit in between all of my trips. I had 9 weeks off for the summer, and I'm gone for about half of it, 4 different trips. But anyway, I digress. We're going to be reading this one in July, and we'll have a discussion for Black Sun sometime in mid-July. And actually, Philip Chase is joining us as well, so I'm glad that he's going to be joining us and talking about this very different kind of series. There are a lot of things I really liked about Black Sun, a few things I didn't like, but I'm really looking forward to chatting with them about it, and then continuing the series with Fevered Star sometime in July. Another buddy read I'm doing is with Derry from Derry's Read It Before. We are reading the first thing ever published by Robin Hobb, writing as Megan Lindholm, and that's a series that is called alternately The Windsingers and the Key and Vandian Quartet. We'll be continuing with the second book. This is The Wind Singers. And we read the first book together, and just all the chat that we were having, it was fantastic. For a debut, it was really impressive, especially the world building elements. And what's interesting is the Lindholm books are so much shorter than the Hobb books, so it's very, very different in that regard. But I really enjoyed the discussions that we had kind of offline. We're going to read the 4 of these books in this series the next 4 months, and then have a discussion on my channel probably at the end of that. So if you want to jump in, if you can find these are hard to find. You can't find electronic. There are no ebooks for these, and I don't think there's audiobooks either, so you just have to kind of scour eBay or Pango or wherever you do your shopping to find these. But I really enjoyed the first book, Harpy's Flight, and looking forward to reading the second book, The Wind Singers, in July. So the final book on the schedule is The Concrete Blonde by Michael Connelly. This is the latest in my Michael Connelly reading project, where I'm rereading all of the works of Connelly and doing reviews 2 at a time. This is Connelly's 3rd novel and the 3rd novel to feature Harry Bosch. And what I remember pretty clearly, even though it's been about 20 years, is that this is the book where the series really started to get good. And the next 2 books in particular, Concrete Blonde and The Last Coyote, are in many ways kind of peak Bosch. Just some really, really great stories. So I'm hoping that my memory, holds true for that, but I'm really looking forward to reading The Concrete Blonde, continuing that video series that I'll be doing for several years. This one I'm reading in July. I'll be reading Last Coyote in August, and then putting out a video after that. So Concrete Blonde by Michael Connelly. You can be sure this will be a great hit for me in July. So my next audiobook that I will finish will be Dynasty of Evil by Drew Karpyshyn. This is the 3rd book in the Darth Bane trilogy. This is part of Star Wars Legends, or Star Wars, is it Expanded Universe? It's EU. I don't know if it's expanded or extended. I think it's expanded. Anyway, they call it Legends now, and it's part of the Essential Legends series, so some of the better Legends stories. But anyway, the first 2 books of the Darth Bane series blew me away. I'm filming this very early in June because of the travel that I already mentioned. So at this point in the month, Path of Destruction might be my book of the month. I was really blown away with the first book of this trilogy. So I will be listening to the 3rd book, Dynasty of Evil. I did start it already, but it'll be something that I finish in July. So my short fiction collection that I'll be finishing in July, this is a holdover from June, as I suspected I wouldn't finish it in June. This is Daughter of Regals and Other Stories by Stephen R. Donaldson. There are 9 stories in here. As I'm filming this, I think I've read 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them, and it's really good. I like the diversity of the stories. That's one of the things I really like about short story collections like this, when an author can show kind of different sides of the way that they write and the different kind of stories that they tell. This will be my 6th book by Donaldson this year, so it's many ways it's a year of Donaldson. But I'll definitely be finishing this one in July. So my wildcard pick, and here's where my phobia comes in. So I have odd phobias. I'm weird like that. So I was thinking of this when I went for a run this morning. My running phobia is not that there's an accident or I pull a hamstring or I get chased by a wild animal. My running phobia is that I lose my key. Anyway, so I have some flights. I have a big international trip planned. The last week of June, the first week of July, I'll be in Europe, and I'm really excited for that. So I don't have typical flight phobias. I won't even mention them because I don't want to jinx my flights. But my flight phobia is that in an international flight, my Kindle dies. So with that in mind, I will be taking kind of a backup with me. I have loaded up on the Kindle. I have Dombey and Son for the end of June, and then I have the Shelby Foote book for the beginning of July. 15 days, that's probably all I need. I do have some backups on there as well, but should something happen where that Kindle dies, I'm going to throw a mass market paperback into the bag, and the one I'm going to throw into the bag is The Swords of Light and Day by David Gemmell. This is the final book in the Draenei saga. I'm so excited to be here. This is the 11th book in the Draenei saga. There are also 2 prequels that I will read before I do a big wrap-up video for this series, but I've really enjoyed this series. I've kind of slow-rolled it over the last 3 years and just enjoyed my time with it. So my wild card pick, it'll be in my backpack when I'm off in Europe. It'll be Swords of Night and Day by David Gemmell. Sorry for the AC. It's a heat advisory right now. I wasn't going to turn it up. Didn't want to sweat through filming this video. But if you've read any of the things that I'm going to be reading in July, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Just please no spoilers since I haven't read them yet. And I'd love to hear what you're going to read in the month of July. Let me know what you're most looking forward to reading. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Twitter, Goodreads, and the Fireside Discord. I'd love to interact with you there. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.